There are many animals on the endangered species list, from the black rhino to the Amur leopard. But there are also many people doing amazing things trying to save them. One of those people calls San Diego home. Founder of the Bonobo Project, Ashley Stone.
My name is Ashley Stone. I'm the president and founder of the Bonobo Project. I was born in Stone Mountain, Georgia in 1973, and my parents were divorced by the time I was like eight or nine. So I had a single mom for the most part. I had a great aunt. Her name was Aunt Lib, and she was born and raised in Columbia, South Carolina. She was just a really unique character. And we used to feed the ducks every time I'd visit her, and she had chickens, and I remember she had this one chicken that was born with like a cleft foot, and I just felt so bad for that chicken. So I said, please don't kill it, and so I took care of it the whole summer that I visited her that year. I just had a tremendous love for animals. I loved the idea that they were, you know, I felt like I could relate to them in some way without, you know, speaking. I think it was probably the ability to be outside in nature in Georgia, combined with, you know, my mentor, my aunt, that gave me that initial just absolute awe of animals, how they work, how they operate, how their social systems work, how they live and manage, and I was always just fascinated with it. So growing up, one of the major influences for me was playing sports. I was a swimmer, I played softball, I played basketball, but I think as a girl especially, it was a huge focal point for my life. I really was proud of being athletic. It was an opportunity for me to explore who I was, not just, you know, a girl or a student or whatever, but also an athlete, and it was just a big part of my identity, and it still is. And I want to instill that in my kids as well, especially my girls. I graduated high school in 1991, and I had good grades, and I did well enough on the SATs, and I was an okay basketball player. So I thought, I'll apply to Emory, that's fine. I never thought I could get in. I never thought that I would be that kid, because the really, really smart kids were applying to Emory. But I did anyway, and I got accepted. I had a single mom, as I said, and we definitely couldn't afford Emory. So, but luckily we had some financial aid and grants through Georgia that allowed me to attend Emory. So I did play basketball there. It was a tremendous experience. I got to travel to the different schools around the Northeast and some in the Midwest for the first time ever. And I got to see a little bit more of the world than I had in high school. At Emory University, I took a few anthropology classes, and one of them was about primates. And I learned about this species, bonobos, and I was blown away. First of all, I couldn't believe I'd never heard of them. It was like this underdog theme, like everybody knows about chimps, gorillas, and orangutans, but nobody's ever heard of bonobos. And why is that? About 20 years later, I had an opportunity to meet Claudine Andre, who is the bonobo heroine. She's founded and started the only bonobo sanctuary in the world in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So I had a chance to meet with her and spend some time with her and learned about what's really happening with bonobos. I was so drawn to this cause, to this species, that still 20 years after I'd learned about them, almost nobody still knew a thing about them. And they're going to go extinct in my lifetime if if we don't do anything about it. So I booked a ticket and went to the Congo and spent some time with Claudine, and I have been back again one more time since then, and I plan to go back at least once a year just to try to help in any way that I can, but also to bring other bonobo people together, to researchers, zoo people, conservationists, artists, authors, whoever, to try to shine a light on this species before it's too late. I think that the future for the Bonobo Project is very bright. There's, I think the key is to work with other people who are passionate about the same thing and listen and learn and help to put this puzzle together so that there's biodiversity left for our kids. Those issues are very complicated and it's complex in a country that's so far away, that's so destitute. I mean, the Congo is, kind of a forgotten country. But I'm up for the challenge, and what else am I going to do? So the future is bright. I think we are going to be looking toward building a real positive message around the bonobos, because the bonobos themselves are very positive. They're the only great ape that's matriarchal. They're the only great ape that hasn't been seen to kill each other in the wild. They are empathetic. They show great capacity for working together. I think the message of bonobos is the message of people. Hi, I'm Ashley Stone. I'm the president and founder of the Bonobo Project, and you're watching The Block.
Ashley continues to fight hard to save the endangered primate. Support her cause by donating to the Bonobo Project at bonoboproject.org.